And how is it going, everyone? Welcome to I Wanna Best the 100 Floors. Usually I play this on Monday, it seems, but I guess today I just felt like, well, not doing that, I guess. Well, that's mostly because I've been streaming Dark Souls for 2 streams and I wanted to slow down a bit. Hey Kyle, how is it going? You know, I've been playing with the Pro Controller before, well, the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller, before starting the stream. And man, it's quite different, the buttons. Like, compared to the DualSense, which is the one that I'm currently using, the buttons here are so flat. But the ones on the Pro Controller are extremely fat. They are super fat. They couldn't be more fat if they tried. Which is one of the reasons why I don't prefer it. Well, aside from the analog placement that I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, the whole buttons being that big, because they are very big. It's not a joke. Yeah, today I've been working a little bit on my fan game, and I'm seeing parts like this, and there are some times that I nerf my fan game, like some champs of my fan game. Then when I beat the level, eventually it feels so hollow, right? Hold up. Nice, team, that was pretty fast. Okay, bring them on. I like that. Here we have a bind champ, but at least it's only at the beginning. Well, for now. Well, no, I don't see it anywhere else, so yeah. Only at the beginning for now. But yeah, I was about to say that when I do a level in my fan game and I end up nerfing it and then I beat it after the nerf, it feels so hollow when I beat it. Obviously, for whoever plays it later, they are not gonna know what's nerf and what's not, but yeah. But I feel like if I don't nerf some of the champs, some checkpoints are way too hard. I mean, way too hard for compared to the other checkpoints. You always have to more or less maintain a balance, which is hard to do, and it's impossible to have something with perfect balance, but you gotta try. And a lot of times the first attempt at making a screen ends up being so hard, you know. So you gotta nerf it. But yeah, it happens. And I mean, it probably will get nerfed later when I test it all. Oof, but yeah, it's an issue. But on the bright side, at least, that means that the chance of the player being frustrated is lower. So I gotta view that as a victory. Kinda. A little bit of a victory. It's what happens when you need to balance. I mean, that's the reason why so many games, especially those that are online, especially the competitive ones, that they have so many open betas. Because they want to make sure that the people that play the game don't want to murder the developers. So they make sure to at least take the common complaints of the community that tests them. But yeah, it's still very hard to do balancing right, regardless of what type of game it is. Obviously, an I Wanna Be the Guy fan game is very different from an online competitive game. I wonder how it will be to have an online competitive fan game. If you have a cooperative fan game, I Wanna Be the co-op, how will you make it competitive? Well, maybe you could make it like some arena where the players shoot each other. It will be super chaotic. Hard to tell how it will work well, a concept like that. I don't think it will be hard to implement from a technical perspective. There's also the fact that there most likely will be lag, and in something like this that the shots are so fast, will probably not be the best idea. But it will be maybe something more normal, like maybe making a competition on who can beat like a randomly generated needle section or an avoidance. I guess for doing something like that, you could use fan games that already exist instead of making something competitive. Or to make something competitive exclusively for that, we'll use the ones that already exist. I mean, for example, needle games like this one will definitely serve as a base to do that sort of stuff. I mean, obviously in my case, I'm not at the level where I could compete with needle players, but the needle players could compete with each other. Though I don't know if there are even competitions like that in the community. I mean, I know that there are speedrun competitions, I guess. Well, I guess that counts. But I think these days there are even been speedrun competitions. Supposed to be the fan game marathon. They do that sort of stuff, as well as presenting games and shit. I didn't watch it though. I mean, I usually don't really watch too many streams, really. But yeah. In that water champ there, I have no clue how to do it. It feels like double jumping through the water. I don't know. Not even the last champ, though the following champ doesn't look particularly hard. The very last champ of the checkpoint seems quite chokeable indeed, but you will never know until you get there. I think that last time I streamed this game it was with low bitrate. Well, it's also one of the reasons why I decided to stream it today, because today there is a very important a football match happening at the same time of the stream, so I will assume that the bandwidth is probably gonna tank when that happens. Maybe not. I mean, last time that there was a match like that, it didn't go badly. It was just normal. But it's one of those things that you never know until it happens. So just in case, streaming a game like this that doesn't need high bitrate, it's probably the best idea. I mean, my other idea was streaming Project Diva, but streaming Project Diva, you cannot do that on low bitrate. The only advantage is that most of the stuff I play is not something that I will highlight. But yeah. It's all about the opportunities. Tomorrow, if everything goes right, I'm obviously gonna continue the Dark Souls 2 playthrough. Well, in fact, I'm pretty sure I'm very close to finishing it. Though, hey, Kyle, do you... Well, you didn't play Dark Souls 2, you only saw someone play it, so... I was about to ask something, but I don't think you know it. Yeah, I mean, the fact that I don't remember it is, yeah, no, there is no way. Yami will probably know it, but Yami has been a little bit busy lately. But then again, I could just Google it. I mean, it's not like I will spoil me. I already beat the game like 3 times. And about to turn that into a 4. But yeah, still... If I can avoid Googling it, it will be nice. Huh, now you're here? How is it going, Yami? Well, I actually have 2 questions. It's just that you can probably answer the first one. The second one I don't expect you to remember. The first one is, how are you supposed to damage Vendrick? I didn't even remember you couldn't deal any significant damage at the beginning. Like, you know that Vendrick is like the king with the big ass sword that is an undead. You go to the place he's resting to get a ring, and with that ring you go to other places. But you can also beat him, and in fact, if you want to fight against the true last boss, you need to beat him. But I don't know how. You need the 4 thingies to make it easier. I think you probably are talking about the Giant's memories, right? I think that's probably... I mean, that's what I remember as well. That it was the Giant's memories. It's just that something that... I thought it was only to summon Nashandra. Because I think Nashandra only appears when you do that, right? So, I don't know. But yeah, I assume it was something like that. Alright, thank you. And then the next question is, if you remember the location of the DLC keys. I got one of them. One of them is at the Drangley Castle. After, like, that place with the 6 doors, you have a chest, and it's right there, right? So that one is easy. But there are 2 other ones. They scaled the fight from what I remember. I don't know who... Lishendra? Well, I didn't say Lishendra. I meant Nashandra, the queen. Come on, bro. But yeah. You never... See, that's something that doesn't make sense. How did you never play the DLC? Like, the second DLC is pretty much the best part of the game. How did you not play it? Like, come on, bro, so much for saying Dark Souls 2 best Dark Souls, you haven't even played the DLC? That's shameful. Shameful display, to say the least. Come on, buddy. You can't tell me that. That's where the meat of the game is. That masterpiece doesn't need a DLC? Yeah, sure. Sure it doesn't. Come on, dude. I thought you were for real when you say that you like Dark Souls 2, but now I cannot believe you. Wow, that might be a lot harder than I thought. It's a very short jump into a full double jump. Does the DLC have Heineken? I don't think so. I remember you molding out how to do damage, but I don't remember you asking. Well, yeah, I did ask, but yeah, I mean, I didn't remember you couldn't deal damage normally. Like, I did remember that you needed to aggro him by hitting him. I didn't remember that you deal no damage at all, you know? Dark Souls 2 is peak. See, that's the thing. When you say stuff like that, and the fact that you are not using emotes, I can't tell if you're serious or not. That's the issue. I can never tell when you are serious and when you are not, but now even less. Like, you're probably just kidding. You're probably saying that to make fun of Dark Souls 2. Didn't stop the windmill from spinning as to leave Drangleic? What windmill? The one on the harvest area? That one I made it stop spinning. You're 100% serious. Alright, I'll try to believe you. I just think that it doesn't make any sense though. A game like Dark Souls 2, if you really like it that much, you should play the DLCs. You know, at the very least. I mean, here's the thing. If someone tells me it is an amazing game, one of my favorite games, I will assume you want to play more of that. And the DLCs are precisely that. I know how people hate Dark Souls 2. Yeah, but okay, like, I understand you like it. And that's precisely why I don't understand. Yeah, you never play the DLCs. That's what I don't understand. How? Especially because if you play Scholar of the First Sin, that version has all the DLCs included, you know? I mean, you have to, as I say, find the keys to enter the DLC areas. I mean, that's nothing that a quick Google cannot solve. Hard to be worse than Dark Souls 3 where they forgot to enable voice. Yeah, Dark Souls 3, well, that's the thing. I personally am a firm believer of this. Dark Souls 3 is all style over substance. It's a game that looks cool, that sounds cool, and that overall is as flashy as possible, but it's a game that when it comes to the substance, like, you know, the way it's made, the way you can build a character, the difficulty of the fights themselves, of the areas, the content as a whole, has no substance, at least not to me. Well, with some exceptions, but it's more style than substance. And to me, Dark Souls 2, with the exception of the DLC, it's all substance and no style. I think the Dark Souls 2 bosses are so ugly in comparison to any of the Dark Souls games. Well, bosses and scenarios and normal enemies. I think that most of them are so ugly. But the thing about Dark Souls 2 is that the gameplay is so well done, the build variety is so nice, and the challenge itself, even though there are a lot of traps that are super fucked up, I don't think it's that badly presented. And well, the DLCs are basically everything the base game does but better. I played them all at release and didn't continue them except Dark Souls 1, which I played later. Well, in that case, I recommend you to do it. Like, if at some point you want to replay Dark Souls 2, well, my recommendation is that you don't replay vanilla Dark Souls 2, but rather the Scholar of the First Sin version. When you do that, and well, when you eventually beat it, to play the DLCs. Or, if you want to use your same file, that's a good idea as well. That's a good idea as well because New Game Plus in Dark Souls 2 actually adds new stuff. Like, it's not just making the game harder for the sake of making it harder. It actually changes some stuff. Like, some bosses have new attacks, you know. Some items are different. So, you know. Tindar's mod for 3 adds poise and like 150 new weapons and sets of armor. I know that there are a lot of people that like playing with mods. I'm personally not that big of a fan, so I never really take them into account. Dark Souls 3 bosses I think were the best, only beaten by some Elden Ring DLC bosses. I think the issue with, I mean, the Dark Souls 3 bosses are well done, as I mentioned before, from a visual and an audio standpoint, right? Like, the music of the bosses is extremely well done. The way they look, like the attacks, everything is super flashy. It's very, very cool. But I think the main issue is that when it comes to the way the bosses fight, it tends to be the same. Like, they are usually... First of all, most of Dark Souls 3 bosses don't even feel like they have stamina. They attack, and then what they do next is attack, and then they attack more. That's something that I don't like, not precisely because it's hard, because despite that, the patterns are relatively basic, so it's easy to deal with. But they are, and like in general, I will say that's the problem with Dark Souls 3, that everything is more of the same. Like, the builds you can do are pretty much punch harder or die because the magics are shit. The bosses are that, they punch and you are supposed to roll because roll is absolutely busted. And the only thing that changes is the way they look, but the idea behind them tends to be the same. And you compare that to something like Dark Souls 2, where, you know, there are so many bosses where the strategy is something completely different. You have, for example, the flexible, well, whatever the name was, Sentry, I think, the one on the boat. The other guy, you have to deal with the water, so you want to kill him as soon as you can, but also, if you don't, you have to learn how to deal with the water. And the fact that he's like a double face boss. And you have something like the Sentinel that really, well, the Sentinels, you know, forces you to fight with two at the same time, which is something that it was something classic in the first Dark Souls. I mean, the most iconic fight in Dark Souls is Ornstein and Smog, at least in my opinion, right? So something like that. I feel that I can't remember double fights in Dark Souls 3. I remember one in the Ring City DLC, like against 2 dragons or some shit. I don't remember many double fights in Dark Souls 3 at all. Because I think I remember that you fight Ornstein, I think, but you fight him alone. Or was that Dark Souls 2? That's the inevitable end of Dark Souls Ender Ring. It can only be fixed by adding more defensive options like in Sekiro. You have the problem where people need more and more to get off, and you get to the point where they need to take a shit on you. Yeah, but I'm not saying that from a difficulty standpoint. Like, the difficulty is obviously something subjective, and especially in a game like Dark Souls that you can have multiple builds, the difficulty fully depends on that. But I think that it's mostly about, as I say, no substance. Like, every boss is, I hit you, you need to roll. Then I hit you more and you need to roll more. And in between one of those attacks you can attack, but that's the whole strategy. There's not more than that. And that lack of variety is what I feel that it's not very nice. And for better or for worse, Dark Souls 2 has bosses like, for example, the Congregation or the Skeleton Kings or the Rat boss. Well, one of the rat bosses, because ironically Dark Souls 2 has 2 rat bosses. But I mean the small one. Like that one, bosses like that, you might be like, well, that's like a disappointing boss or like a very weak boss, but it's something that adds spice to the game. Because it's something different, right? The Pontiff shooting all the Hughes heroine needles. Well, the Pontiff is probably the maximum expression of that. Basically being the boss that is, I hit you and I hit you more, and then you need to roll and then I hit you more, you know? No, not that skeleton thing or punker. How is it going? No, I'm talking about the Skeleton Kings in Dark Souls 2. I mean, I don't even remember if that's what they were called. They are just 3 skeletons that sit in a throne, and when you fight them, well, you have to fight them at the same time, but also they summon little skeletons. And that's the argument I was making. A boss fight like that for a game like Dark Souls is very original. And Dark Souls 2 did a lot of those type of fights. Well, in fact, on that same area, you had I think it was called the Executioner Chariot. Well, I don't remember the name, but it was a chariot that had a 2-headed horse. And the way you beat that boss is by moving to the side of a circle to not get hit by the chariot, and eventually pulling a lever to stop the chariot, right? So that's something that is very original, and I think it's executed well. And that sort of stuff, unless my memory is failing me, I think the most creative boss that I remember from Dark Souls 3 is the Wyvern. The Wyvern is something that was pretty cool. I think it's the most Dark Souls 2 boss of the game, where you're just supposed to run. You're supposed to run and eventually you kill the dragon by falling on top of him. That was original, but aside from that, if my memory serves me right, most Dark Souls 3 bosses are basically the same shit with a different skin. Which, again, that different skin looks very cool, and that's what I praise about Dark Souls 3, how good it looks, and how cool and flashy it is. But aside from that, it's pretty much the same boss every time. No one wants to roll a 6-hit combo where you need to memorize 4 roll directions to get a single R1 punish. Yeah, exactly, like the chariot fight. Yeah, things like that are something. That's what, like, they add spice. I think the word spice here is something that it's perfect for this type of situation. Like, something that makes it feel more like an adventure, more like something that you are going into the unknown. You don't know what to expect, and it's not as simple as being like, oh, here comes the boss, let's just beat it. I mean, you have the here comes the boss, but you have no idea what the boss has for you. And in Dark Souls 2, the bosses are so diverse. Very diverse. But yeah, here's the thing. The reason why most people don't like Dark Souls 2, if I had to guess, is the fact that Dark Souls 2 has a lot of traps. It's the Dark Souls with the most amount of traps by a long shot. You know? It's just something that people don't appreciate. I mean, it's kind of like, if someone plays an I Wanna Be the Guy fan game, well, they will probably know what they are getting themselves into. But someone will appreciate a game like I Wanna Find My Destiny more than the typical trap fan game that you can find, right? That kind of falls off a little bit when the fact that Boshi exists, but Boshi is a completely different story, guys. It's way more than a trap fan game. It's way more than a fun game, I would even say. But what I'm trying to say is that people in general don't appreciate those sort of traps. And Dark Souls 1 wasn't like that. It had some things like, for example, the set fight, where you cannot win that fight the first time, you're supposed to die. But scripted things like that, I guess that it's whatever. But when it comes to the fact that you enter an area, and there are like 3 traps before you reach the next bonfire, people don't like that. That's what people, I think, don't appreciate of Dark Souls 2. Well, and then as I say, the fact that, keep in mind that when we're talking about most people, what they usually tend to appreciate is the way a game looks. Like, believe it or not, people are still in the phase of if it looks nice, it's a good game. And Dark Souls 2 is a game that doesn't look that nice. And I'm not talking from a graphic perspective, but rather there aren't many nice things to look at. Like, one thing I can remember that I did yesterday is, for example, the dragon fight. The dragon fight looks amazing. And well, the dragon itself looks amazing, and in general the dragons in the game are pretty cool. Aside from that, you have things like, for example, well, the gutter, where everything is dark and putrid. And I don't think that there is much that looks nice there, right? Because the comparison with the gutter from Dark Souls 1 will be either Blighttown, or well, whatever it was called, or the part with the skeletons and the necromancers. But that's something that is not necessarily ugly to look at. Some things are disgusting, like, for example, the flies, the gigantic flies and shit. I think that it's overall something that is more pleasant to look at, and the fact that you come from the top and you go all the way to the bottom, and you constantly are seeing all that. That looks a lot nicer than a place where you cannot see shit and everything is wood and undead and shit, right? Now, obviously mentioning the gutter is kinda cheating because it's supposed to look disgusting, but even places like I think it was called the Undead Burg, like the first area in the game after Majula, there is nothing that seems very worthy of remembering on that area, you know? And it doesn't help that, you know, the first boss, which is the Giant, also doesn't look that cool. The first boss in Dark Souls 3... What was the first boss in Dark Souls 3? Wasn't it the guy that is walking in 4 legs and has a mace? Is that the first boss of that game? Well, forget about Dark Souls 3. The first boss in Dark Souls 1 is like a gigantic monster with a big weapon. Now, well, that sounds similar enough to the Giant, but when you're fighting the Giant, I think that from a feeling standpoint, you feel like you're fighting someone disabled, right? Well, because that's kind of what he is. You're just fighting a gigantic but disabled enemy. In Dark Souls 1, the first boss being a very big demon, like that looks menacing, but it seems nice to beat him, because you're like, I conquer a big demon. In Dark Souls 2, you just feel like you are bullying someone that is about to die anyways. Doesn't help that he's called the Last Giant. So yeah, it's like, you know, it's whatever. Gunder, yeah, I think it was the guy with the giant mace, but oh no, never mind, it was the champion, the guy that punches you. Yeah, I remember. That's a very good example of a boss fight that looks cool. Like you're fighting against like a martial artist, someone that you can see that knows how to fight, looks flashy, looks cool, right? So it's that sort of stuff. Like, Dark Souls 2 is not a game that is very nice to look at, and you add to that and the fact that it has a lot of traps, and you have the combination for people in general to not like it as much as the other Dark Souls. And there is also another thing that doesn't help. The map cohesion of Dark Souls 2 is not very well done. You don't really feel like the whole world is one big area. You feel like there is basically multiple places stitched together. And I'm not just saying that because of the elevator that goes to the Iron Keep. Because yeah, obviously that's badly done, but it's more about the fact that like the places don't really blend together. Like in one moment you are in a place that is, you know, like some sort of damn, I forgot, what was the place before the Zeldora, like the spider thing? I even forgot, and I just played it like a couple days ago. What was that area? I'm trying to remember. What area was the one before? I cannot remember. Wait, wasn't it the forest? Yeah, it was the forest, right? So that's I think a good well, was it the forest? Yeah, like the invisible forest. It had to be that, right? Yeah, it was that. Like the invisible forest. So you have a place like that is something. And then you go to a place with spiders that looks all nasty and you know, kind of like part of an abandoned citadel or whatever. And I don't think that place connects well with the forest. Not to mention the same forest that also leads to the Drangley Castle and to the Dragon area. Like, I feel like that's just something that doesn't merge together well, you know? And that's something that people did appreciate of Dark Souls 1, the fact that the whole world feels connected. Obviously, the exception being Anor Londo, since it's supposed to be a place that is far away. But Anor Londo in itself is presented in a way that it's like Anor Londo, right? So all those factors added together make Dark Souls 2 a game that is not attractive for most people. But yeah, that being said, from a gameplay perspective, I really do think that it's the best one. In terms of, well, that whole map cohesion, I think that Dark Souls 1 is the one that did it the best. Even though Dark Souls 1 also has some inconsistency, mostly in that area that it wasn't really finished. I think it was like a lava area after you fight the Scorpion Girl, I think. Or maybe it wasn't there. Well, I don't remember where it was, but I remember there being an area where you supposedly fight the witch that is not there. It's just a gigantic tree with a salamander, I think, on the center. So something like that. Maybe that area isn't that well done, but even something like that, I feel like it fits well inside of the game. Inside of the whole world, right? The way it's done. But yeah, that's something that I do appreciate a lot from Dark Souls 1. And then, as I say, Dark Souls 3, the whole flashiness and the music, right? Even though I still prefer, or at least I probably prefer, Ornstein and Smog's theme, and well, Ornstein and Smog in general as a boss fight. Something that I gotta say that it's super well done is the Dark Souls 3, the armor fight. I think it was called the Dragon Slayer armor or some shit like that. That boss fight was very good, and it has one of the best songs in the game, I will say. In the game, I mean in the series. Probably the best one in the game as well. So yeah, that sort of stuff is something that characterizes Dark Souls 3 a lot. But I think that it's something that is also not easy to do. Every Dark Souls game being something that will attract a different kind of player, even though all the games revolve around the same style of gameplay. I think that's something that definitely takes some effort to do. I think that the guys at From Software did very well with it. Because I think that Dark Souls 1, well, Dark Souls 1 is just a very solid experience all around, but I think that from an explorer perspective, like someone that likes exploring a world, Dark Souls 1 definitely is the best one for that. Then for someone that really likes Dark Souls combat and all the mechanics in it, Dark Souls 2 is probably the best one for that. And then for someone that just likes flashy stuff and just wants to have cool moments, Dark Souls 3 does that very well too. So every Dark Souls is from a different type of player. I mean, they all are good, and most likely if you like one, you're gonna like the other ones. But each one of them definitely has its own strengths, their own strengths, right? I wish I could say about Bloodborne and Elden Ring, but I haven't played either, because I simply don't have the consoles. Which one is the darkest soul? Dark Souls 2, without a doubt. And that's for a very simple reason. Dark Souls 2 is the only one that has a torch mechanic. Well, in fact, the torch mechanic being a big selling point back when the game released, since what that mechanic wanted to do is basically showcase the illumination engine that the game has, which by the time of release they actually had to downgrade it because consoles couldn't run it well. But the point is that they have that as a whole mechanic, so there are a lot of places in the game that are purposely super dark, and if you don't use a torch, it's almost impossible to see where you're going. So which one is the darkest soul? Clearly Dark Souls 2, without a doubt. But yeah, it's a very dark game. Well, not to mention that there are covenants in Dark Souls 2, and the Darkness Covenant is the only one, if I'm not mistaken, that gives you an optional boss. Every other covenant, I think it's simply for PvP shit, or you know, you might get some items or whatever. But then you have the Darkness Covenant that actually has a whole area attached to it, well, a whole area and a whole boss. So yeah, without a doubt, Dark Souls 2 is the darkest of souls, indeed. Heavily recommended, but then again, I recommend all of them. If you haven't played Dark Souls, all Dark Souls games are recommended. In order. You don't need, well, if you only want to play one, I could recommend you one depending on what you usually will appreciate more in a game, but if you are planning on playing them all, play them in order. 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, they are very good games. I mean, there is a reason why so many games afterwards release and they are considered Souls-like. Even though Souls-like is a word that is thrown around a lot and it kinda has lost its meaning because of how much it's used, but the whole idea of having a healing item that gets replenished on a checkpoint and essentially having like a pseudo open world game where you're supposed to find your way around doors and stuff like that. I tried Dark Souls but did not understand what I was doing, and also I don't really like exploring. Well, in that case, I recommend you to play Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is a game that streamlines a lot of the stuff. And when it comes to builds, for example, it makes them a lot easier to do. When it comes to the fights, it makes them easier to understand. And when it comes to exploration, it's a very linear game. You don't really have too many optional branches in Dark Souls 3. Usually you go forward and you will keep going forward. I think they are like, obviously there are optional areas, but though the optional areas, for what I remember, you don't find them by accident. In fact, one of the optional areas, I feel like if you don't check up a guide, you will never know how to go. But it's completely optional, it's not something you need to do. Well, actually, I think 2 areas in Dark Souls 3 that without a guide I probably would have never found them. But yeah. That game, maybe if you don't like exploration and if you got too confused on the other games, Dark Souls 3 could be very good. Maybe someday after I finish the infinitely long list of fun games that I need to play that keeps on growing. Well, I mean, you don't need to play them, you know? You can just play the fun games you want. I mean, you know how many people told me to play Camellia, for example? Especially Camellia 3. And I don't give a shit, I'm not gonna play that game. That game can suck a cock. And that's the attitude that you need to have with fun games. Because if you play every single popular fun game there is out there, the only thing that you're gonna gain with that is quitting. Because there are some popular fun games, like for example, you know, Boshi, or I Wanna Find My Destiny, or I Wanna Kill the Guy. Those games are challenging, obviously, as is any fun game. But those are games that, you know, they are relatively friendly for someone that might not be used to fun games. As long as obviously you have the perseverance to keep trying. But yeah, those games tend to be the ones that you wouldn't have any issues playing. But then you have some other games that are also popular. For example, Crimson Needle, Noesis, well, Vandal, I think it's also quite popular, and well, obviously Camellia. Games like those, the only thing that you're gonna get for playing those games is wanting to break something in half. Not because they are, you know, badly done. They are not badly done. It's simply that they require a level of expertise that, you know. Thing is, I want to play them. Well, as long as you don't mind playing them, obviously it's fine. But yeah, the problem is if you force yourself to play them. That's when the issue begins. Because yeah, you can be like, you know, everyone is mentioning Camellia too. I gotta play it, right? Like everyone and their mothers is talking about this game. I gotta play it and beat it. And then when you actually try to beat it, you're gonna find yourself basically stuck in the same checkpoints over and over and over again. Which is obviously something that happens in every fun game, but in Camellia, you can literally get stuck in a checkpoint for a week. That's, at least to me, quite a long time, personally. Obviously, it's less if you are good at the game, or good at fun games in general. But if you are not used to fun games, playing something like that... not a good idea. Forcing yourself is not a good idea. As long as you just take it easy and do what you wanna do, it's fine. I've been stuck on a save in Camellia for like 6 months. Well, I don't know which Camellia you're talking about, but yeah, that's common. I'm assuming you're probably told, well, it could be 2 or 3. I mean, even if 3 is a lot harder for what I know than 2, the 3rd one, okay, yeah. Yeah, that is definitely what you're expected to do, to get stuck, indeed. Yeah. What's important is not wearing yourself... Sorry, not wearing yourself down. Or, well, I think I could use a more popular word. Not burning out. Because when you do something a lot and you see no results or no desirable results, you are just gonna burn out. And I'm not talking about the game Burnout. That's a good game. But yeah. Nice. Whew. What a checkpoint. Now the fact that there are 5 vines on this one, not sure if I like that. To be fair, it's an optional save. Well, yeah, they are the secrets. I know that Camellia has secrets that are casually harder than the game itself, but yeah. In that regard, it's just what it is. Well, in fact, Dark Souls, since we were talking about Dark Souls, and especially a game like Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 3 has some optional stuff that is very hard. In fact, if I'm one of the hardest non-DLC bosses of Dark Souls 3 is in an optional area. I think he was called the Nameless King. Well, I don't remember if he was called King, but yeah, he was the Nameless something. That guy is such an asshole. It's pretty much the, well, for what I remember, one of the best bosses in the game. But yeah, one of the best bosses in the game and one of the hardest ones. That is until the Ring City DLC comes and then you get fucked by other stuff. But yeah. Fear not the dark, my friend. And let the feast begin. What a wonderful phrase, isn't it? Alright, this is an interesting checkpoint. So you're supposed to go through this. Go to this water, jump into this half platform, keep the jump until this vine, then jump here and double jump. Well, I mean, it sounds harder than it is. It's not really that hard. Yeah, the Nameless name. But yeah, it is what it is. Well, speaking of amazing games, you can totally skip that water. Well, yeah, probably, but I'm not here trying to speedrun this. I can probably skip that, but I don't think it's a good idea for someone like me, though. Because yeah, it's pretty clear that it probably isn't mandatory, especially since you don't need to use it anywhere else. But yeah, I don't think doing that is a good idea. In fact, I think the game even intends me to go to the right. Like you jump right and then you fall here to the left and then you jump into this. Because if you go to the water in between these two spikes, it's a lot harder. Well, not like the other one is gonna be super easy, but... Hey, I was out to say, speaking of very good games, these days I've been playing Mario Kart with my sister, and that game is such an amazing game, dude. I mean, that's something I already say multiple times, but every time I look at that game, it's just insane how well done it is. The track selection, the music in a lot of them, the amount of character and cards, it's such a good game. Nice. Tim, I don't know how I didn't hit that right spike, but I'll take it. It's a shame that for Mario Kart 8 you need the... If you wanna play online, you need to pay the Nintendo Switch Online subscription. It really sucks, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it's just a good game. And I've been thinking that one of the challenges I could do, though it's a challenge that will be pretty hard, is doing the 200cc difficulty, which is the fastest and hardest one. And on that one, try to get 3 stars on all the cups. And 3 stars means beating everything at least, well, beating every race with a victory. And doing that in that difficulty is so hard. But it's something I could do in the future as a challenge. I think it will be that bad of an idea at all. But yeah, it's one of the things I could do. So otherwise it's not like I have many things to do with that game without having the online available. I mean, another thing I could do is do that same thing with 150cc, but that's something that will be free to do. It will be the same thing I did with mirror mode, but instead of mirror mode, it's the normal mode. That doesn't seem very, like a very attractive idea, personally. There's also... well, there is the time trial mode, but that one might be even harder to do. I don't know. Something I will have to check better. Also, I thought that I will be able to uninstall Genshin Impact tomorrow, for being the last Abyss rotation of the general patch, but it seems that probably won't be the case. Well, first of all, because the Abyss resets on Tuesday, not on Monday. But even that Abyss reset, I don't even think it's gonna be with the new enemies. It's just gonna be the same one that I already did, so I have my doubts. But yeah, I don't know. I just hope that I can uninstall it soon. Those 90 gigabytes are quite a little bit. I mean, especially since I tend to emulate a lot of stuff. There are a lot of ROMs that are very sizable, especially the ones on things like PlayStation 2. And that's because for what I know, they tend to have a lot of filler data that is not really used, but since you're basically recording it to a DVD, you can add anything you want. I think that from a technical perspective, it needs to be full or something. So yeah, a lot of those games are quite heavy. Yeah, I don't know. Hard to tell overall when I will be able to uninstall that thing once and for all. But it's okay, we gotta be patient. It will happen eventually, that's for sure. But very, very hard to tell. But at least so far the one series that I'm emulating, Puzzle Bobble, has a lot of games that are not particularly in consoles that require a lot of space. Well, in fact, the previous one I played was for the Neo Geo Pocket Color, and that thing is a handheld console. You don't need much to make a game there. You don't need too much space to make those games. Huh. I mean, that last jump doesn't look hard at all, right? I fear for this last jump. It looks so easy that it feels like it's mocking me. There's something that doesn't add up about that last jump. I have a feeling that it's gonna backstab me. Oh, it would be pretty cool if it had a trap, you know? Like the first trap in the game, you go there, and when you're about to jump to the warp, one of the spikes moves towards you. Man, that would be great. Would be so nice to see. If I can land there, it seems that the rest is not gonna be that hard. At least not hopefully. I gotta get past that jump first. Sometimes it's a little bit weird to change the mindset from playing a game like this, that it's obviously it's what you have here and the only thing you're supposed to do is beat it, and then playing my own fun game and balancing it on the spot. In this one, no matter what you do, you need to beat the things the way they are displayed to you. You might think something is unbalanced or not, but that doesn't matter because you gotta beat it. There is no other way to do it. But then when I'm testing my fun game, I more often than not, if something is too hard, I choose nerf it. That's the strat. If I struggle too much with something, I nerf it. That's my way of beating my own game. But yeah. It's because I see some stuff in my fun game and I think to myself, damn, this is way too fucked up. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little bit silly. It could be. Now, this looks like this goes straight into the portal, but in reality you're supposed to land to this checkpoint. You get to this platform here, you keep the champ onto the vine, then you double champ to this patch of water, single champ across this and land on the checkpoint. What I don't know if it's possible to land straight on the right or if you're supposed to land left. And I think you're supposed to land straight right there. There is no reason to land left first. I wanna believe. Yeah, that's fine too. Problem is that every single checkpoint has a vine champ. Something that I don't appreciate, but it's okay. I don't want to shinse it, but at least so far, the progress is not that bad. I mean, it could be way better, but compared to last stream, it's more like it's faster paced than last stream. But I mean, this could be a matter of a single screen that completely fucks me up, and that's it. Fuck, went too much to the left, or maybe too high even. Nice, okay. That checkpoint wasn't that big of a deal. These past days, particularly I think 4 days ago and then before that like for 2 weeks or maybe even more, I don't know why, but my microphone got disconfigured and it went to max volume. And the issue with that is that it makes popping very easy to happen, right? So, I don't know how to stop it from changing out of nowhere, but it did that, and the problem is that it made me keep like a certain configuration in mind in terms of the sound balance between the game and my voice, and now I have to get used to a completely different one. And this happens often. The microphone just goes to a different volume without any input from me. But yeah, it's very annoying, but there ain't much I can do. It just seems that my computer likes trolling me, and that's the end of that. It's a shame, but what can we do about it? On an also completely unrelated note, apparently tomorrow the economy theme of my country's government is apparently gonna do something risky. Well, as it usually happens, but apparently tomorrow it has the potential. Well, I'm pretty sure that's just people exaggerating like they usually like to exaggerate. But apparently there are chances that our economy goes even further into shit. So yeah, that's cool. Nah, but it's fine. I'm pretty sure people are just exaggerating. But yeah, will be nice to see what happens. I mean, regardless of how shitty the economy in my country is, I I always come out on top. Well, come out on top at least as a middle class citizen. Not as a multimillionaire. That would be cool though. Don't get me wrong. But I'm afraid that that's not what I am. Now, this champ, it's not. I don't think it's supposed to be a diagonal, but the way it's made, it's so hard to roll through. It feels like a diagonal. I mean, it's probably an earth diagonal, but there are so many spikes in the vicinity of that it feels quite hard to do. Focus. And then this champ is gonna be quite hard on its own. The fact that you need to champ this without bonking your head, and then double champing around here into the vine, and then immediately champ out of it into this. Or well, you don't need to champ into it, you can champ into itself and then champ again. And then this is simply a double champ. I guess it's probably chokeable or something. And then the last thing is not even a champ, you just fall off and that's it. We will have to see. And the last checkpoint does not look easy at all. I shouldn't worry about that for now. Also gotta say that I'm quite sleepy today for some reason. Not a good idea to be sleepy on a Sunday, because the day afterwards it's Monday. Well, as long as you sleep well, I guess it's fine, but yeah, Monday. The day to end all days. And that champ, I really don't know. I'm not used to dealing with inverted spikes. Like dealing with like the base of a spike instead of dealing with like the pointy part of the spike is something that I'm just not used to at all. In fact, so far in my game I haven't done that. I probably will do it, but yeah, I will need some. I'm gonna say I will need some experience. But you get the experience by doing it, obviously. But yeah, I don't know if I want to. I feel like a lot of those reverse spike champs just feel very awful to do. Mostly because I don't even think it's intended. Like, I'm pretty sure the original I Wanna Be the Guy didn't have them. But then again, I played that shit so long ago that I wouldn't remember. I really don't know how to do that champ. I don't know if I should try to go for more verticality or try to engage diagonally with it. If it's one of those that you have to press left slowly to kind of line it up, I really don't know what to do. Okay, Tim, I don't think I can replicate that. Nice. I don't need to replicate it, thankfully. Even if I cannot, I don't need to. Worry not. Nice. Pretty crazy to think that I still haven't reached the 50th floor, which is it was the last floor in the previous game made by this guy, but here it just ain't happening. It just doesn't want to happen. Nice. I guess that last checkpoint wasn't that hard after all. Alright, so this is the last screen of this area. We're gonna at least get a new area with obviously a new song coming with it. That's great. Obviously. I don't think I can reach the floor 50. Like, on this stream obviously not, but I don't think I can reach it even on the next stream. Of this game, I mean. That's also something I forgot to clarify yesterday. I say that on the next stream I will play that dragon area in Dark Souls 2, but when I say next stream, I didn't mean literally my overall next stream, I mean the next Dark Souls 2 stream, which is not today. That's something I should clarify better. I mean, not like many people care anyways, but at least to make it easier to understand. And I gotta say that of this area that I'm playing right now, the music is pretty cool. And I think that overall, well, unless this screen is largely harder than anything else. Wait a second. Oh, the portal is at the left side. About to say, where the hell is the portal? Unless this screen is a lot harder than the previous ones. So far, this whole area has been significantly easier than the previous area. The previous area had some very nasty stuff. Obviously, it's not like this one is a walk in the park, but it's like the difficulty is a little bit lower. But yeah, it all depends on this floor. Like, this floor could take me 2 hours for all I know. You know? And if that's the case, well... I would like to disagree with what I should say, but we cannot know that until it happens. This checkpoint doesn't look that fucked up. Once you reach this patch of water, you jump left to. to get the refresher, then you fall here and double jump to the checkpoint. And yeah, I shouldn't worry about the next checkpoint now, though the next checkpoint does look relatively short. And it is to be expected from a floor that has 2 checkpoints. Well, 3 depending on how you count it. I mean, well, technically it's 3 sections, if you don't want to call it checkpoint. But yeah, that's a given that the checkpoints are gonna be shorter if there are more of them. More checkpoints there are in a floor, the shorter they are gonna be, though not necessarily the easier they are gonna be. But yeah, something I still don't know about this floor. What? I heard my double jump after I died. I probably misheard it, obviously. But it was a weird noise. Okay, so you cannot jump that far from that first jump. You need to do it a little bit more to the right, and then you double jump lower. Like that double jump should be able to make it to the water without too much effort. I mean, the issue is getting in between that nerf corner jump. I mean, it shouldn't be hard, but I think it's easy to mess it up. That spike seems like it's so unconsequential, or well, inconsequential, and yet it's killing me so many times. Unbelievable. I guess you can say that about this whole checkpoint. It doesn't look that hard, but the time it's taking me to beat it, it's saying otherwise. I probably should suck, don't worry about it. Especially some failing this first set of champs. Yeah, as I say, that double champ, the issue of it is not reaching the water but getting past the nerf corner champ. That's the issue. Why I feel like there is some... I think I'm hallucinating. Like there is some mist in this room. Maybe I'm just going full schizo. So speaking of mist, so far the bitrate is behaving well, even though the match has already started. Seems that everything should be fine, for today at least. Something that I also find interesting about these needle games is that they don't necessarily follow like conventional lining up. Like for example, this platform being 1/4 or maybe even 1/5. No, I think it's 1/4. 1/4 of platform below this one. Something that... yeah. It's a little bit unconventional. But I mean, when you do a needle game, you need to come up with the most variety possible. I cannot make that double jump. I just cannot. I mean, it doesn't seem that hard to do. It's just that I'm too far. Just that now I'm a little bit scared of going closer since that one time that the top spike killed me. And it's so hard to not bonk your head from there when you have a spike below. It's hard to not hit the spike. But if the spike wasn't there, instead of hitting the spike, what you will do is like doing an instant double jump. So I guess doing an instant double jump at least will give you the chance of recovering if you're able to figure that out in time and go back to the platform you should jump from. But it's easier said than done. Damn it. I can't believe I landed in the water, but should have gone more to the left. God damn it. That part with the water is also not gonna be that easy. Like, it will be very cool once I get to the water to pick up the champ refresher and champ to the checkpoint on the first try, but something tells me that's the kind of thing I cannot first try. Hard to tell. I did it too soon. It really sucks when you start failing champs that you don't really fail that often, and then you consistently fail them. It's what happens with this type of checkpoints that have quite a lot of champs, and all of them are hard to do. Also, I don't think it's possible to fall in between these two spikes. I mean, if it was possible, I would assume the creator wouldn't have done that. But yeah. I don't know. There might be a faint smell of gas right now. A little bit concerned. Maybe that's why I feel like there is a mist. Maybe I should pay attention to that. It could be important. It's a very faint smell. Maybe it's something else, you know. Damn it, that stupid ass champ. Any champ here. That's what I was saying. There are many champs, and usually the fact that there are many champs is not an issue, but every single champ is hard to do. Not extremely hard to do, but hard enough that you probably cannot consistently do it without some practice. Damn it, dude. It's something that I already knew, but I'm seeing in my fan game that obviously the more champs that a checkpoint has, damn, and I got it. Maybe I should just talk about my fan game. Maybe that's the recipe for success. But the more champs a checkpoint has, it's a lot more harder to figure out the following checkpoints, because obviously you need to do all of the previous ones before figuring out a specific one, right? And the difficulty increase in that regard is something exponential, you know? It's not that it simply adds up, it's that it pretty much multiplies itself. But yeah, to figure out that water champ, you need to be consistent on the other ones. It is hard enough, so it will take you quite a long time to get to the water champ and practice it. Every attempt requires all of the previous champs to be done perfectly. So yeah, the more champs you add to a checkpoint, the more exponentially hard the final champs are gonna be. Not like it's something very important in most adventure games, for example, but in a needle game, yeah, you need to think of the last champs of a checkpoint as something being exponentially a lot harder than any of the previous ones. That's the reason why it's such a common balance option to simply put the hard champs at the beginning and then every other champ make it relatively easy. Now this champ looks ultra fucked up. I mean, especially the second champ. I feel like the checkpoint should end right here. This champ already looks so fucked up. Like, the rest might be more or less fucked up, but it's that one champ, the one that seems super hard. So I think the double champ in that part, it seems harder than a gate champ even. Well, I mean, if it was a gate champ, I probably would have already done it. It's like you have to do a very, very small tap on the champ button for that second one. That's very messed up. Cox. Yeah, it's something like that, but somehow making it in between those spikes. I just wish that the champs that come afterwards didn't look so hard as well. 'Cause they do definitely look hard. But yeah, just as I mentioned, it seems like this one floor is the one that is gonna raise the whole difficulty of this area by a lot, making it most likely harder than the previous area. Just because of this one floor. Well, in the previous area, it's also true that I think the hardest floor was the first one, and then after that every other floor was more or less trivial to deal with, but yeah. I have no clue how to do that, Sham. This looks like a very natural filter. Yeah, something like that, but even that attempt that it looks super good, it still wasn't enough. So that shit is gonna be super hard. Okay, I got it, but yeah, now it's not over yet. And this Vine Champ. I think it was pretty obvious that Vine Champ was gonna cuck me. It doesn't surprise me at all. But then that's pretty sad. Stupid vines. Always being a pain in the ass. And it's the only vine in the whole floor, by the way. I guess at the same time, if it wasn't for this Champ, this checkpoint in general wouldn't be that hard. But man, that Champ really raises the difficulty of the checkpoint by quite a lot. Team, I jumped too low. On the previous attempt, my issue is that I jumped too high, and now I jumped too low. Maybe I'm supposed to jump high, but don't jump all the way up. And then once you are around here, you do a full double jump to get to this platform. Because I don't know how possible it is to simply do a full jump like this and not hit this spike. So if you do that afterwards, I don't think you can do a full jump, or the double jump, I mean, because you're gonna hit your head with the ceiling most likely. So yeah, that's an issue. Okay, no. Ah, that almost worked. Fuck. Okay. So you are supposed to do the full... The first one definitely has to be a full jump, but yeah. The second one can be something small, but you have to aim well, and I did not aim well. And after that, this is just a very small double jump, and then zigzagging to the checkpoint, but yeah, that zigzagging seems easier said than done. So I don't think you can do this in a single jump. Because if you could do this in a single jump, you could double jump next to the checkpoint, but no. the fact that this spike is placed like that, I don't think that a single champ can get past that. Probably not. Oh, I went left too fast, really? Man, I really hate the inverted spike things. I think that this game is gonna make me not want to put inverted spikes in my fun game. It really seems like dealing with them is such a fucking pain in the ass, but... like at the same time, not using them might be limiting myself a lot for the upcoming areas that I still haven't made. So yeah. Well, at least that gas smell that I was feeling earlier went away. Well, that's something. Wow, what a damn death. I'm very tempted to check what the next checkpoint is, but that's just a bad idea. Focus on the current one. Don't focus on anything else. You gotta focus on this one, and then you will worry about the other one. Not now. So don't do that. And the one time I didn't get past the other one, but I was trying to make sure that the other spike that killed me before didn't do it. I didn't even reach it. I got killed by the top one. God damn it. Well, at least this floor being the last one of this section makes sense from a balance perspective. Fuck, dude. Am I really gonna die to every spike in that champ? Every single spike there is there, I'm gonna get killed by it. It looks like it will be that way. It is, well, obviously harder than any of the other floors in this section, but it just feels so much harder. It's a completely different thing. This could be a different section and I will believe it. It does seem like every single spike will kill me at this rate. I'm unlocking every death just in case. God damn, dude. It's insane. So, I think that's like, if you get killed by almost every spike in a checkpoint, that basically just signals how precise it is, because the fact that you're getting killed by different stuff means that you're doing the champs differently every time. But yeah, every time you're doing it different, something else kills you. So the only way to do the champs is by doing them extremely in a very precise way, right? Like, extremely precise. Right. As I mentioned, that last zigzag champ, the fact that it's the last champ in the checkpoint means that it's exponentially a lot harder, not just a little bit. I'm surprised I'm getting killed by that one though. Not that hard to land on the left platform. I can understand getting killed by this or this ones. That champ, that zigzag is precise to do, and well, the champ beforehand as well. But the champ before that one is not hard, and it keeps killing me. It's insane. Just cannot get past it. yet again by the same shit, but dude, if I stay too long on the right side, I'm gonna get killed by the spike below. Damn it, why do you have to be so stupidly precise? Because these two look like they are pretty far apart, and I mean they are. But if you don't start steering or moving, as soon as you get past this one, the sheer gravity is gonna make you hit this. Not to mention this turn afterwards, like when you are falling here, I feel like hitting this checkpoint is gonna be so hard. I'm obviously gonna spam like a moron, like as I'm falling I'm gonna spam shot as much as I can. Because it wouldn't be the first time that I jump into a checkpoint and I don't land in the platform, but I was able to shoot at the checkpoint, which means that you get the checkpoint regardless. So I will do that. Hopefully I can hit it the first time I get put right next to it, but something that's hard to tell. Also be nice if you could like turn around here and shoot the checkpoint. Well, not like this first jump will make that much of a difference. I mean, I guess it will, but it's obviously not possible. Just wanna check it, just in case. The problem is that shooting down there before dying doesn't seem very possible, you know. Fuck, dude. So it seems that the rest of the stream is gonna be spent in this floor. That's fucked up. I mean, I want to definitely get to the next area before I have to end it, but jeez, it's taking a lot longer than it should. Every time I die to either this spike or this spike, I feel like my lifespan is reduced by a couple years. Like any of those two spikes killing me. There you go, finally, Jesus Christ. Okay. So next checkpoint, what is it? I bounce on the water to the platform, okay. I mean, doesn't look too fucked up. It looks relatively normal. At a single glance at least, it looks like a very normal checkpoint. I feel like it is. Maybe that first jump after the half platform is weird. Because the other ones are... I mean, they are relatively precise, or they are just double jumps. And when I say precise, I don't mean precise like the previous one that require two very short hops. A lot of these are not short hops. In fact, this one is not a short hop. I'm pretty sure it's a full jump to land here. Then the next one is also a full jump initially. Then I guess the second one is a short hop. And then these two, none of them are short, so that's cool. I think that first jump is most the half platform champ is most likely the hardest one. So I need to double champ there a lot later. I'm doing it way too soon. Okay, that one didn't seem like a bad double champ and I still got killed. I have my doubts. Okay, I just want to get out of this zone. I don't care if the next zone is gonna murder me twice as bad as this floor. I just wanna get out of this zone. Not because I dislike it, mind you. I like the song and the background, but just want to be done with it. Yeah, that champ might be an issue. It didn't look that hard from a first glance, but yeah, from well, when you actually need to do it, it's a different story. Well, it's the same thing with all the champs. Fuck. Seems that every single time I jump there, I die to the same spot. The same spot of the same spike. Okay. It seems that you just have to double jump around here. The issue is landing here. Because of this top spike, you cannot jump that far. It's an issue no matter how you look at it. Hey Draenor, how is it going? You are the one that I wanted to see. Wanted to ask you, why did you decide all of a sudden to make short clip of my streams? What made you think that? I mean, as I say before, I appreciate it, but yeah. What made you think of it? Or did you just randomly thought about it? Ah, that would have worked if I have turned quicker. Doing it for a bunch of people, eventually hoping to make it a bit of a side gig. That could work. It's also kind of fun learning new skills. Yeah, it's also something that is pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know how it works though. How will you monetize it? Or will you offer your services as a service? Because I don't know how, well, TikTok or whatever social media you want to upload it to, how it works. I mean, maybe you can just like YouTube get publicity on your page and get money that way or something. I don't know. I mean, I do know that there are people in YouTube that they call themselves editors, and precisely what they do is that editing stuff. And yeah, the way they earn their money is by selling their services. Shorts drive huge traffic to streams and stuff, and there's definitely people that pay people for editing stuff. Okay. So you don't earn money directly from a TikTok. You just use it as a way. Yeah, I understand. Well, but something that you could do, I mean, I've seen some people that what they do, because YouTube, I know that you can monetize the stuff, though you need, shorts don't get much revenue. Oh, but they do, okay. Well, at least that's different since like the last year. I have no clue, but yeah. Regardless, in case you had any doubt, you have my full permission to do anything you want with the content. Calling it content is a little bit of an exaggeration, but with the streams I do, you can do whatever you want, and yeah, even if you want to monetize it, you can monetize it too. You know, I know that there is people that like upload portions of, you know, of streams from other people, and that channel, whatever views they get, they monetize that. You can do that. I mean, after all, if you are able to convert something from my streaming to something watchable by regular people, you deserve the full credit for that. You know? I mean, editing takes a lot of time, especially, well, the editing itself is annoying, but all the rendering and shit, I can still use. I don't know what you're talking about, Kyle, but yeah. But now I have the thought that, well, obviously it's always polite to ask for permission, but if you are able to edit content into something that heavily changes the way you watch that content, that original content, like, I think that that's its own thing, you know? So, in that regard, I think that one thing deserves the monetization for whoever does the editing. Because I know I won't do any editing. So, it's not like you will be quote-unquote competing with me. No, because I don't do that. So as you say, what you will do is, if anything, is advertise my channel. Which is pretty cool. But yeah. A clip I got from back then. That's some time ago, that's for sure. But yeah. The point is, do what you want. Do what you want. And yeah. I mean, something that I can tell you though, as an anticipation, is that I won't pay anything. Not because I don't like you or I don't like whatever content you might produce, but you know, I just don't, well, I don't even know if I can afford it, because what for you could be a decent wage, if you wanna call it wage, for me it probably is like my whole year worth of wage, you know? Was hoping you will pay me a full-time wage to be your editor and Twitch Discord mod. Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, that's just something that I'll clarify here, that I won't pay from my pocket, that's for sure. But anything that you earn from it, just keep it. Well, I mean, not like you could do anything else. Not like I could do anything else. But yeah. If you somehow manage to earn something editing my streams, it's all yours. Because, you know, you really deserve merit if you can somehow turn my streams into something watchable by normal people. That's something that takes effort. So yeah. Wants to be your Discord kidding? I'm not expecting anything. Yeah, but it's something that, just like with any... Well, I was gonna say the word investment, but I don't think the word investment is very fitting here. But, well, I guess time investment. It's just like with anything that you put time into, you never know what could happen to it, right? Anything is possible. But yeah. What I definitely do know is that I definitely won't be the target audience of that. I mean, I don't watch shorts or anything similar to that. Well, I never accessed TikTok in the first place. I don't even know how the page looks like. Well, I seen people I know watching it in their cell phones, but I never accessed it myself. So I definitely won't be the target audience, but then again, I'm also not the target audience of my own stream, so it makes sense. You couldn't find the friend tab? I don't know. I didn't even know it had a friend feature from the early Facebook era UI. Well, that's the thing, I also never use Facebook. I never use any social media that is not YouTube or Twitch. So I wouldn't know. Well, I guess I did use Messenger a couple times. Like MSN Messenger. but I didn't really use it that much, so not even that. Ooh. Nice. Alright. On to a new area. So this one, it seems like it has some danger stripes. Considering the way the whole game works, you should have used those in the whole game. Yeah, at least it seems like the music choice is top tier. So that's pretty cool. Vines again, dude. Vines just cannot leave me alone. I think that... wait, what's this? You get this double champ. You could keep the double champ. But no, I think it wants you to use the double champ to get past the diagonal, and then I think you can land here from a single champ. If you don't, though, this looks super hard, because you will somehow need to keep your double champ after the diagonal, but to keep the double champ you will have to... okay, I don't know, I will have to see. My space was cool with the customization. I also didn't use MySpace, so I cannot really tell you. Hey Marcao, how is it going? Huh. That's the wild goose. Fuck, I think it's possible to, but no, it shouldn't be possible to keep the double champ. Because if you keep the double champ, if you want to do the bind champ, you will need to press champ again and you will use it at that point. So no, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to use the double champ to get past the diagonal. And then, by some sort of miracle of the universe, you're supposed to do this whole champ in a single bind champ. Which I guess it's fucked up enough. Fine, and you? Yeah, I'm pretty fine. So far, just chilling with the good old needle fan game. It also seems like there is a force pulling me to the bottom. Is that real? It's probably just my imagination, but I feel that after this left spike, feels like there is something sucking me to the bottom of the screen. But yeah, no, it might be my imagination. But yeah. Your team will probably win today too. Yeah, it's a possibility. I don't know what the current result is though, since as you can expect, I'm not watching it. So I wouldn't know exactly how we are doing, but yeah. I don't think that the opposite team should be that big of a deal. Yeah, I own a team, obviously. Clearly, I'm actually a millionaire pretending to be a middle-class guy. Indeed. It's my fetish, pretending to be middle-class when I'm actually a billionaire. It's my one kink. I'm just kidding. I wish that was the case, but no. Just a middle-class guy. Nothing more, nothing less. But yeah. No millions. I am Messi's mentor, damn. That will be something. Will be quite cool. Yeah, no, I think that ain't the case. Yeah, what's the current result? I mean, I can Google it. Can I borrow one of your Lambos for next weekend? Which one do you want? The Diablo, the Gallardo, the Aventador? Which one? We got them all. The Aventador, nice. Good choice. Indeed. I personally don't know which Lamborghini I will pick. The Aventador is cool, but there are also some other Lamborghinis that look pretty cool as well. It's hard to decide. Lamborghini cars are stylish, usually. It's a still... Damn, none of them score. Man, football fucking sucks, dude. I really despise football. For many reasons, but man, how the fuck did they not score? What are they playing? They're playing chess? I mean, even chess is more exciting than that horseshit. Come on, dude. Why cannot you play like you played on the World Cup finals? That you actually play like an actual team? God damn it, stupid ass sport. But yeah, thanks for letting me know, Marcao. I appreciate it. But yeah, we will say pelota, not esférico. We don't even use that word. Come on, bro. What word is even that in the first place? Esférico? What is this? The 17th century? What a stoner. I still don't know how to do this checkpoint though. As much as I want this Vine Champ to be enough to land here, something tells me it's not. And if it's not, this single checkpoint will take me so long to beat. I think Spaniards say that to the ball sometimes. Huh. And the newspapers use that word. Pretty fancy. Indeed. Okay. So it was possible. Well, I'm glad. Because if that champ wasn't possible, that checkpoint had the potential to be the hardest checkpoint in the game so far, but no. Thankfully, the champ is just doable like that. Well, if it wasn't doable like that, I don't know if it would have been doable. Probably, but it would have taken quite a lot if that was the case. Nice. Looks like a hard champ. So far, since I'm kind of like in the middle of this level, so I started in level 36. So 36 plus this one is pretty much one floor. And then you have 37, 38, 39, and 40. So far, we have a progress of 5 floors this stream, which is slightly less than the last stream that it was 6 floors. But I think it's still good pace. I mean, the stream isn't over yet, but it's not like it's gonna last that long anyways. Yeah, that champ looks annoying. Real gangsters use Lambo Trattori. Well, I mean, I guess some companies try to expand their area of influence, obviously. So, if they want to do tractors, I guess that it's to be expected. I don't know what to do here. It's a short hop or it's a full jump from the bottom. I guess it can be both. I don't know. No, it seems more like a short hop, but it looks super hard. And it's not even the last jump of the checkpoint. So the other jump looks more permissive, I guess. But, I mean, they are two completely different jumps. Have a house built of Supreme bricks. Well, I don't know what type of bricks these are, but I'm pretty sure that Supreme didn't exist back when this... You know that I didn't even see this spike. I mean, now that I see it, this jump is fucked up. Because squeezing in between these two shits, my eyes completely skip this shit. Like, that spike did not exist in my mind. That's an issue. Well, that jump looks hard then. I thought the hardest part was nailing the double jump here, but squeezing through this shit is not extremely hard, mind you, but being the last jump of the checkpoint. Each one is 200 USD. No, this building has like 70 years or something. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 60. But it is a relatively old building. But then again, the one that I live in Capital City was more than 100 years old. So yeah, I don't think Supreme bricks were a thing, or maybe they were. It's not like I know anything about that, but something tells me they were not a thing. And even if they were, they probably wouldn't use those. No, the building is definitely... I mean, it depends. This one I'm not sure if it's older. Because again, I don't remember. It could be 60 or 70 years old. In which case, it wouldn't be older than my mom in either case, so... Yeah. Damn it. I was trying to walk a little bit more left, but it's very tight to do that. Yeah, like doing this double jump is gonna be an absolute fucking pain in the ass, dude. It's gonna be such a big pain in the ass. Holy shit. It's fine. It's okay. It's whatever. Oh yeah. Wait, if the match is still tied without goals, that means that they are gonna go to the extra time. But then again, you know that our team in this cup that they are playing, most of the, well, I don't know if most of them, actually I think one of them, but a lot of matches in general in this cup were defined by penalties. And the penalties, they are basically a gamble. They are the most anti-sport shit you can probably imagine. I don't know why they are still used as a resolution for these matches, but I'm going to have to call it a night here. I should even be up at this time. I should be up at this time. Well, you are, so doesn't that mean that you shouldn't? Oh, you should. Okay, okay. You meant to say you shouldn't be up. Alright. Well, in that case, have a good night, Reyno. And thanks for. Sorry. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully I can beat this floor for you. I don't know if it's gonna happen today. Like, this checkpoint, I can't believe I can beat it today, yes. But the next checkpoint, well, I guess I could check it quickly. I mean, this shampoo already looks super fucked up, and then... this last area here, I guess except for this gate jump, the rest doesn't look that bad. But I say the same thing about the previous floor, and it took me the most of today by a lot, so... Until I'm there, I cannot say anything. But yeah, have a good night. I guess I will consider it a victory if I can even manage to beat this checkpoint today. Because it shouldn't be that hard to get it today, but yeah. I don't know. And that's the thing, on whatever is the next stream that I stream this game again, I probably still won't get to floor 50. I still cannot get to the halfway point. It's just not possible. It just cannot happen. Doesn't wanna happen. Oh, I got killed by the same stupid ass spike again, but bro, if I stop here, I don't think I have the angle to land on the checkpoint. Because if you don't want to get hit by this, you obviously have to stop and stop going left. But if I stop going left, I'm gonna fall straight down. Well, obviously you're supposed to stop and then immediately go back left. And then there is another issue. Assuming you have enough time to fall to the checkpoint, there might be the possibility of overshooting and hitting this shit. Ah, that's so fucked up. It's okay. So be it. that's how it's gotta be. That's how it's gotta be. And that's the end of that. I even saw the shot leaving my pistol, dude. Just that it didn't even register to the checkpoint. That was such a good champ, and the worst part is that I cannot say that I did anything wrong. I mean, well, obviously, what I did wrong is that I didn't go to the left enough, but like, come on, dude. That was the perfect champ. You want me to do it even more perfect than that? What a picky little shit you are. It's okay. So be it. That shit is gonna take me so long. That's what this game has. A lot of checkpoints that look easy, but they have that one champ that fucks everything up. It really, well, Nice, I got it. Huh. You know, I was out to talk about my fun game, and yet again, when I was thinking of my fun game, I was able to beat this. Just like that other checkpoint on the previous floor. Damn, I really need to talk about my fun game more. But yeah, I was saying that on my fun game, there are a lot of champs like that in a single checkpoint that I'm like, man, this champ makes the whole checkpoint so hard. And what I do is I choose nerf it. Usually. Some other times it depends, because sometimes it initially looks pretty hard, but then I realize it's not that hard, and I don't nerf it, I just keep it like that, and the Gabby of the future is gonna have to decide if it's still too hard or not. But yeah. One of those things that it's hard to tell. But yeah. Still a long time until that happens anyway, so. For now the testing is very rudimentary, very basic. So for now, it is what it is. Does it have the Woos ribbon? No. I hate the ribbon. No. The kid is just using its normal attire. The one from the original, I wanna be the guy. Well, the ribbon was also there, but I mean the one without the ribbon. Like, for example, this game adds on the shoes, it adds like a white line to differentiate where you are stepping better. Well, I don't have that. I could add it, it's just that I probably want to leave the kid to be exactly the same. I did think of editing it to make it more, you know, special, I guess, but think that that's probably not a good idea. Probably better to leave as it is. But yeah, hard to tell. If I'm not gonna do it later, but no, I think I'm gonna leave it as it is. I mean, after all, fun games are kinda like the multiple adventures that the kid has. But yeah. But it's not like editing the sprite will be too hard anyways. I mean, if it was a bigger sprite, probably, but it's such a short sprite. Like, it's less than 32 times 32 pixels, right? 32 by 32 is bigger than this guy. So, with something like that, it's pretty clear that you just need to tweak a little bit of pixels and that's it. The important thing, I guess, is that in every animation frame you make the design of the kid be consistent, obviously. But yeah. This checkpoint, on the other hand, this one probably will have to happen on the next stream. And yeah, next stream I mean whenever I play this next, not literally tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Dark Souls 2 without a doubt. Well, assuming there is no technical difficulties, which there shouldn't, obviously, but Dark Souls 2 continues tomorrow. We are relatively close to the end. Like, there is one more area, and then you need to go to a couple of places, and theoretically that's it. It's just that doing that is not gonna be that easy, because first of all I need to defeat the throne defenders. That shit will be hard. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but we will see. But yeah, I can also be a little bit concerned about the enemies in the current area that I'm in, with dragons and shit. Like, I remember the enemies there being quite hard. In fact, I think I remember playing them in New Game Plus, and I couldn't beat them. Like, I was getting demolished by them. So that seems like an issue, no matter how you think of it. It is an issue. But we will see. I have no clue how to do this champ, by the way. This champ here, I'm assuming you're supposed to double champ from the very last pixel possible of this corner, but man, if I was making this game, I would think that champ is impossible and I just will change it. I guess Mr. Macedonia is a little bit more experienced than me. I would think this champ is impossible if it only depended on me. In fact, I don't even know how these people figure out which champs are possible and which aren't. I understand that these people use debug mode and constantly repeat this champ over and over until it works, but I think that even something like that, I probably will attempt it like 10 times, and assuming that none of them will work, I just think it's a not possible champ, you know? And obviously, a lot of other people have more experience on Needle than I do, so I got it. Fuck. Really? That's where you die on? Not here, which is clearly the harder champ, but you die here. Very well done. Very cool of you. In fact, that champ to the portal looks... like, this is another champ that at a single glance I will think it's impossible. Because it feels like the portal is too much to the right. Like, after that gate champ... like, I don't know. Like, you're supposed to double champ around here, and that's another issue. The limit, the lower limit here, you get killed by it. But that's the thing, I don't know how low I'm allowed to go before getting killed. That's the main issue, you know? But I guess I'll have to figure it out. And there is no other way. Too high. Way too high. Nice, team. I can't believe that worked. Like, that portal really looks like it's so far away, but I guess it isn't. Now, a bind champ into a gate. Okay. We started checkpoint very nicely. Well... the rest doesn't look super fucked up. But this gate champ, coming from a bind champ, looks like an issue, indeed. Now here's the thing, if I manage to reach the next checkpoint today, that will mean that I will tie the progress of the last stream, because that will mean I was able to beat 6 floors. Like, right now the current progress is 5 floors and a half, which is almost the same. It's lower, but it's very good regardless, right? If I manage to beat this checkpoint today, I will tie the progress. I probably won't do it though, because there is only like around 6 minutes of the stream left, because I don't want to stream for that long today. Which means that, you know, which means that beating this shit in 6 minutes is probably not gonna happen. But you never know. Now, I doubt it. I don't think it's gonna happen today. But it's not bad progress, as I say. The progress every single stream is getting slower. Because, yeah, it just keeps going down and down, but all things considered, it could be a lot worse. It could be only like 3 floors, which is half of the previous stream. But no, instead it's 5.5, so I personally like it, I gotta say. I personally am a fan of it. But yeah, I don't know. Anything is possible. What's kinda hard is doing that gate jump and then right afterwards try to do a higher jump from the net spine. Not to mention, landing on this water is maybe not that hard, but jumping from this water into this platform without hitting any spike does look pretty hard. But yeah, I think that we can probably just leave this checkpoint for next stream. Again, next stream of this game, which is not gonna be the literal next stream. But yeah. You know, it seems that we stop at 42. It will be quite a revelation if on the next stream I can somehow reach 50. Because that will mean a progress of 8 floors, which seems like a lot. The progress is most likely just gonna keep getting slower and slower in each stream, so I don't expect to beat 8 floors on the next one. Also, well, might as well check what the next checkpoint is. And this looks so evil, especially landing here. Holy shit. Yeah, the next checkpoint looks super fucked up. I mean, so far there have been a lot of fucked up looking checkpoints that I ended up beating, so I wouldn't see this one being the exception, but man, really feels like every time I see a new floor of this game, it's like I find a new surprise. Let's make. Well, I was no. Let's wait until the 3-hour mark, and then on the 3-hour mark, I'm gonna do 3 more attempts. That will be the rule. That will indeed be the rule. Okay, seems fair enough. Damn it. That will have. Well, I mean, that was a good attempt. So after that, you have to get. You gotta squeeze through this, and then. Yeah, it seems like it will be hard. Alright, 3 more tries starting from now. That's 1. That's 2. And that's 3. Usually you will want to save 3 tries until edge jump. You know, I think I'm fine like that. I think that it's fine if we just leave it here for today. So yeah, thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream, well, with Dark Souls 2. So yeah, have a good one everyone, and take care.